The phone vibrated against the glass table. Once, then again, persistent as a pulse. Unknown number. I almost ignored it. Almost. On the third ring, I picked up. A voice, sharp and entitled, sliced into my quiet morning. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes." No greeting, no shame. My daughter-in-law, though I always despised the title, she married my son 3 months after my first wife died. Too fast, too convenient. I swallowed the suspicion for the sake of peace. I looked out across the lake outside my Switzerland villa, mist resting like ghosts over silver water. My cane leaned against the chair, a reminder of the accident that forced retirement. The farm back home, my legacy, was supposed to go to my daughter. A fresh start after her divorce, a place to breathe again. Yet here I was, being summoned like a servant, to my own home. I leaned back, voice steady as marble. "Enjoy," I said, then ended the call. Silence returned, but it wasn't still. It crawled, it gnawed. I opened my messages. 71 missed calls. Photos flooded my screen, my daughter alone in the kitchen sink, sleeves wet, shoulders trembling. My new wife sat at the dining table like royalty. Her parents feasted, smug smiles, carving the turkey on porcelain I bought. My daughter's farm, my farm, taken over like a throne overturned. Then one picture stopped my breath. My daughter crying quietly behind the door. My granddaughter hugging her leg, afraid. A storm moved inside me, not loud, not fiery. Something colder, heavier, like ice cracking under weight. I didn't shout, I didn't rage. I booked the next flight home. The house smelled different when I arrived. Not of earth and bread, but perfume and imported candles. The kind she liked, sweet, heavy, suffocating. My daughter opened the door, eyes swollen. She smiled anyway. "Dad." Her voice broke halfway, like she was trained not to cry too loud. Inside, my wife, second wife, sat with her parents, feet up on my handmade oak table. They didn't stand. They didn't even look surprised, as if they owned the air I breathed. My wife's mother peered at me. "You're early," she said. I studied them quietly. Rings, watches, silk dresses. Fat comfort gained too fast. My money, my home. I noticed the way my daughter flinched whenever my wife looked her way. The small tremor in her hand as she served tea she didn't drink. The burn marks on her wrist, fresh, dishwater sculled. "You didn't answer our calls," my wife said, picking her teeth, smirking. "We thought you were busy enjoying Europe." I said nothing. She leaned closer. "This is our house now. She stays here to help. Family should contribute." Contribute. A soft word for enslavement. My daughter kept her gaze down. Shame, fear, or both. Later that night, I walked through each room in silence. Family photos replaced. My wife and her parents grinning, posed like landlords. My daughter's room, bare mattress, no blankets, no privacy. Her piano, gift from her mother, was gone. "Sold," she whispered. I nodded once. The world narrowed, tightened. I began to listen, to observe. Every word became evidence. Every smile became a threat. Every bruise on my daughter's heart became mine. But I stayed calm. Cold men plan better. For days I moved like a ghost, watching, counting, studying bank statements, property papers. I found forged signatures, my name, shaky imitations, land transfer requests, a new life insurance policy with my wife as beneficiary. She thought I was old, slow, a man softened by love and age. But grief sharpens, fatherhood hardens. I told them I was extending my stay. I cooked breakfast. I laughed. I played the fool. They relaxed quickly. Greed makes people careless. At night I met lawyers, quiet ones, paid in advance. I recorded their conversations. My wife telling her mother she would finish the paperwork soon. Her father boasting about selling cattle to buy a car. I never raised my voice, but in my chest a quiet fire smoldered, controlled, contained, waiting. My daughter avoided me sometimes, guilt in her eyes, like she thought she burdened me. She wasn't weak, just wounded, a bird with clipped wings. I promised myself she would fly again. I prepared everything, like a chessboard, one move at a time, silent, precise. When the final document arrived from my lawyer, a full revocation of access, property reinstated solely under my name, I felt nothing. No joy, no triumph, just clarity. The storm was ready. I called them into the living room at dawn. Pale light cut through the windows, turning their faces gray. My wife laughed sleepily. "Did you make coffee?" I placed the legal envelope on the table instead. She frowned, opened it, read. Color drained from her face first, then her mother's, then her father's. "What is this?" she whispered. "Eviction," I said. "Effective today. All assets frozen, accounts closed, and a restraining order if you resist." She stood quickly, voice rising. "You can't! This is our house!" I looked at my daughter. "Is it?" She shook her head softly. Tears formed, not weak, but freeing. My wife lunged forward with a cry, but I simply raised a hand. Calm, controlled. "You stole from my daughter. You humiliated her. You forged my name. You tried to take what wasn't yours." She stumbled back like the truth itself hit her. "You knew?" she breathed. "I knew," I said, and I waited. My stillness terrified her more than shouting ever could. She tried bargaining first, pleading next, screaming last. None worked. I showed her the photos she sent of my daughter washing dishes, forced to serve, mocked in her own kitchen. "You enjoyed power," I said. "Now enjoy nothing." Her phone vibrated non-stop, bank alerts, frozen funds, canceled cards. She broke. I took a picture of my daughter standing in her rightful home, head raised high, sunlight behind her. Then, casually, I posted one more photo to our family group chat. The villa in Switzerland. Fireplace, wine, luxury. Caption, "Thanksgiving at my place next year. Only for those who respect my blood." Her phone rang again, and again, 71 times. She collapsed into a chair, shaking. I felt no pity, just balance. They left with whatever fit in one bag. My wife cried. Her parents cursed. Doors slammed. Tires spat gravel. The house grew quiet, peaceful, heavy with absence. My daughter stood beside me. "Dad, why didn't you tell me?" I exhaled, a long, quiet release. "Because some lessons," I said, "are better watched than explained." She nodded, understanding blooming slowly like dawn. I walked outside. Cold wind touched my face. The land was mine again, but more importantly, hers. I didn't watch the road where they disappeared. They were already gone. I stared at the fields, breathing the truth like fresh air. Revenge isn't fire, it's frost. Silent, precise, final. And when it settles, nothing that deserved to rot survives.